Oh yeah, we got to start off with an Ewok version of Welcome Back.
No.
What would that be?
Yubba Dubba Lub. No, wait.
That's the Rick and Morty thing.
Yub Yub. Itch Up Kaboot. Yub Yub.
You got it, Isaac.
Yeah, that's the classic. Itch Up Kaboot. Yub Yub.
Yub yub.
Yub dum.
Yeah. Luba luba.
Yub dum,
Jabba jabba
everybody.
yub no.
Welcome back, everybody, to Star Wars Total Rewatch, where we are totally rewatching Star Wars, as the name implies.
Forcing ourselves to watch these things.
We're, as I said last time, we're taking our first step into a larger world with this one, because we're done with all the original movies, and we're finding out about all kinds of other great stuff that nobody knew existed.
Less curated. Yeah, further from the core lore of Star Wars.
Well, this is totally canon. What are you talking about? All right, we're watching today Caravan of Courage, the Ewok adventure.
And one quite adventure it was.
It was. This was a movie that aired,
1984.
Yeah, although it's kind of nice that we got the holiday special out of the way so quickly, because really everything is just an improvement after that. So, like, I was watching this, and there were some times where I was feeling like there's some pretty cool shots in here. Like, I was comparing it to the holiday special and thinking it's not as bad. This aired on ABC on November 25th, 1984. So this is about a year after Return of the Jedi. Just out of curiosity, I had heard about another movie that came out in 84. I was looking up a list of movies that came out this year, and there were a lot, like big movies. Yeah. Would you like to hear some movies that came out?
Yes.
Yeah, something to compare against. Granted, this was a television movie, but still.
Yes, I'm not saying this is on par with these movies, just, giving some context here. And also, I was just kind of amazed at how many. Ghostbusters came out this year. Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. The Karate Kid. Footloose. Gremlins. Beverly Hills Cop. Splash. That's, I think, the one where Tom Hanks falls in love with a mermaid.
Oh, right.
Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. Police Academy.
It's like a golden age of movies.
Oh, this is amazing. I'm like halfway done with this list here.
Okay.
Amadeus, 16 Candles, This is Spinal Tap, The Never-Ending Story, The Natural, The Last Starfighter, The Muppets Take Manhattan, Purple Rain, Red Dawn, with the communists.
Yep.
And The Terminator.
Terminator, oh my.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and that's like just the ones I was vaguely familiar with. Like, there were other...
And let's not forget Caravan of Courage.
Almost the same quality as the other ones.
A big blockbuster of 84.
I saw an article linked to this list asking, was 1984 the best year in movies?
Sure.
Ever?
It's got to be up there. That's a lot of, like, really good movies.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, it's crazy. And this came out that year too.
Yeah, and this really just cemented, 84 as the year of the movies.
Mm-hmm. But I was feeling like this is like peak era for all of the like practical special effects and like creatures and costumes. And I saw that in this movie.
Yeah, that was kind of cool to see.
I really enjoyed all the monsters, and even the ones that were like goofy. It was still just fun to see it. There was that thing that came out of a tree.
Yeah.
The Temptor.
Have names.
Of course.
What was it called?
Names. It's called the Tempter.
That makes sense. It definitely tempted him.
Yep.
It tempts you to stick your hand in a tree.
We need to do a segment on all the different creatures and animals that are on Endor, the forest moon of Endor.
We can if somebody has a list. I don't know.
That was something. It was supposed to be the forest moon of Endor, and yet there's a lot of not forest. There's a lot of like right open plains that just kind of look like, Midwest United States.
There was also a surprising amount of animals from planet Earth. Rabbits, horses, possums.
You're right. There were owls and rabbits.
There were space owls.
They even called he even called them horses in one of the scenes. It's like, since when do they actually have Earth animals?
That's a very good question. Since they have a smaller budget.
Yep.
Yeah.
But he didn't have to refer to them as horses. Like, when he said that, I'm just like,
right.
I think he called the Ewoks little bears at one point.
Yeah, he probably did.
Yeah. We should probably summarize this movie because I have a feeling that a lot of people probably won't watch this one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's a fair point. I mean, the basic gist of it is a small family of 4 crash lands on the forest moon of Endor. I'm assuming that this takes place before Return of the Jedi.
I think so.
And the parents get separated from the kids, and then the kids have to team up with some Ewoks to go and rescue their parents.
From a giant.
Well, yes, from a giant.
And they have a bunch of minor adventures along the way, like exclamation marks after all of these, chasing a horse. Remember?
Oh, that was a classic. Yep, when the Wicked snapped that branch.
Met some fairies.
Yeah.
The boy gets stuck in a magic lake.
Yeah.
Yeah, he falls in he just falls in a lake. Let's be
There's a lot of magic in this.
Oh yeah, there's actual magic in this on Endor.
But maybe it's just the Force.
It could be the Force, yeah. Working in strange ways.
Well, they went to the psychic Ewok.
Yeah.
That's Master Ewok, Isaac.
Oh, is that what they call them?
Jedi Master.
Yeah, the Jedi Master.
That's no Jedi.
That was Logray.
Was it?
Having watched the cartoons a while back, I was kind of trying to keep an eye out for any Ewoks that I remembered from that, and he's in the. They weren't all, but a few of these Ewoks were in the cartoons too.
Well, he was in the movie too.
Yeah, in the movie too. I think.
Return of the Jedi.
Remember who's? Yeah, I forget who is who in the movie.
Well, Logray's the
Right.
chieftain guy who points his.
Is he in the movie too?
He looks just like him. He points his staff at Han, and Han's like, "Hey, point the thing somewhere else."
I think you're right. Deej and Shodu, I think that's Wicked's parents. I might be wrong about that. It's been a while since I've seen the show, but anyway, they had names, and you can hear the Ewoks saying it. Like, I feel like they had a language,
Yeah.
or at least like what they were. Maybe not a very fleshed out language, but I think some of what they were saying was.
Yeah, they don't speak English, so you hear gibberish a lot of the movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of just sitting around and waiting for the kid trying to explain something to the Ewoks, and the Ewoks trying to explain something to the kid like 5 times. And it gets a little old.
Sometimes they say things in English.
Yeah, I know. There's a few occasions.
Yeah, like Crash and Starship.
I'm impressed with these Ewoks.
The kid loved to repeat himself too. He'd say like the same thing like 3 or 4 times in a row. Well,
it's like classic 80s movie kid.
Is that what classic 80s movie kid says? I don't remember that. Repeating himself.
Exactly.
Or you mean teaching words to a funny creature?
No, it wasn't no way. But yeah, it's a good point too. Yeah.
Yeah, the one that stuck out to me was when they were talking about the fairies, and he keeps repeating, "What of the lights?" He said that line twice, and I feel like the director just kind of rolled with it.
I noticed that early in the movie, he would say this line multiple times. It was kind of comical.
Boy and girl are not good actors.
You're right.
No,
I didn't know they had actors.
I mean, Mace and Sindel are their names.
Yeah.
I mean,
they were not very good.
The Ewoks are the standout performance.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they're really gonna go places.
Their dialect was something else.
One of them is Warwick Davis, which is cool.
Yeah, that's Wicked.
Yeah, he was in Return of the Jedi too, right?
Yeah, and he's in all kinds of other stuff.
Well, yeah,
he's in Harry Potter.
The shot where they're Wicket's dad's going to go flying on his glider to search for the other boys.
Yeah.
That doesn't look like a forest moon at all.
This looks like Arizona.
Wait a minute, I know where they are.
The whole thing can't be a forest.
Well, then why is it called the forest moon?
I'm sure they just filmed this right outside of Skywalker Ranch.
Yeah.
Right. It's known as the forest moon. So I guess the majority of it could be forest.
I mean, the whole Return of the Jedi was, and they flew those speeder bikes a long way.
Not around the whole moon.
It's a small moon.
I mean, if you look at Earth, that entire thing could have taken place in, say, the Redwood Forest, which is where it took place. But on Earth, you have all kinds of environments.
Oh yeah, that's the way Star Wars does planets.
Planet is one thing only.
Hoth is snow.
It's a surprise to see desert next to forests next to mountains.
I guess it would make sense in reality that each planet there'd be different biomes within a planet, but there's definitely the Star Wars thing to have it be one.
It makes it easier that way. They're more iconic.
Yeah.
No, you're right that the landscapes they fit to get they're too realistic.
Well, this movie, aside from the Ewoks and I guess a few laser guns, it doesn't really feel like a Star Wars movie.
Well, it doesn't have much to do with the larger universe. It's just here's what some Ewoks are up to. The people, I guess, are your only connection to anything.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I was really looking closely at their ship because I love the design of this. This looks very Star Wars, and I'm curious what it would look like when it's not crash landed.
Right. You know what this reminded me of? This felt like a movie that would have been on Mystery Science Theater 3000.
Oh, totally.
Parts of it definitely is.
I kept thinking of that when I saw it. I was like, it reminded me of the, I can't remember the name of the episode off the top of my head, but it's the one with Rouse Tower. But yeah, no, it just felt like one of those dime a dozen really generic movies.
Yeah, there are shots that go on a lot longer than necessary, or show basically the same thing.
There's a Australian film channel on YouTube. They have a series where they watch bad movies and stuff, and they called it Caravan of Garbage, which I think is directly named after this.
That's hilarious.
Oh, they named their whole channel after this thing.
Just that show, the series they have going. I haven't actually seen the episode on this, but I'm going to definitely look it up.
What did you all generally think of this?
Well, I thought it was fine. It was nothing special. It wasn't really super memorable. It was just kind of like a kid's movie that was a lot of empty space in a sense. I didn't walk around, or I didn't leave hating it.
Okay.
Yeah, the production-wise, it's actually pretty impressive, and it feels as good as Return of the Jedi. The look of it in most parts. The blue screen effects and stuff are so solid.
Okay.
They must have had ILM working on these.
Isaac, you didn't like it.
I didn't think it was very good.
But no, it's not good. It's a kid's movie.
I didn't really enjoy it at all.
Said you threw up a little.
I might have thrown up in my mouth at one point. I don't know.
As soon as it started.
I thought it was funny the commentating.
The narrator.
In certain scenes, it reminded me of a National Geographic about animals.
Sure.
And here you see the Ewoks in their native habitat.
Yeah, that's kind of what it made me think of a few times.
Yeah, and he just kind of mysteriously disappears halfway through the movie. I
would like to see a National Geographic special about these
things. Right.
The narrator kind of felt really out of place.
The narrator was Burl Ives.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The snowman narrator from Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Ah.
I kind of feel, though, because we were saying when we were watching the holiday special that the whole part with the Wookiees maybe needed some narration.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were maybe realized the same thing with this, is when they have so much with just Ewoks jabbering.
I think early on there was a lot of them jabbering, and I think it was needed. And then as it went on, maybe it was he just kind of disappeared, like you guys were saying. But
I think they may have added him in after making the movie.
Yeah, could have been.
It felt like that somebody was watching it and picking out the parts that didn't make sense, and then had him voice over those.
Yeah,
I don't know that, but I kind of got that feeling.
he was pretty sporadic. He would just disappear for a while.
Right, like for long sections of the movie.
Then all of a sudden, oh, here, I'm still here.
Who is this guy?
Just show up and surprise you, make sure you're still paying attention and haven't fallen asleep, which is probably, what you would do.
It should have been one of the kids grown up telling the story later.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Like he's tucking his kid into bed and then reads him a story.
But like this fight scene against the giant boar thing.
It is actually called a boar wolf.
Oh, the boar
Very
wolf.
original. A boar wolf.
Nothing is original. Like the names of things are terrible.
Yeah.
There was stop motion going on with that?
Yeah, it's stop motion and like blue screen, but like man, it looks good.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It looks like the Rancor.
Yeah. Well, like, even better. I don't even know.
Because this is a Lucasfilm production,
right?
Said at the beginning. So I think I am with you on like the production value, but like Isaac, I agree. Yeah, the story. Like I enjoyed it by looking for all the effects and the creatures and trying not to think very hard about the story or the main characters.
Right.
They were pretty bad.
Yeah, there was a little bit of storytelling, and then like halfway through, they're like, "Oh, we need to go from point A to point B.
Yeah.
So let's just have a mini adventure at every stop along the way that lasts for like 10 minutes."
Not even 10 minutes. Like 2 minutes.
Right, yeah, so when they finally go talk to the witch doctor who uses magic.
Well, he gave them all different magic items to use on their quest.
Which was like Narnia.
Oh.
That's what I thought when I saw that.
Okay. But like that's why I don't know if that's why they had all their adventures, but since everybody has these items, like now they have to make sure they're all used at some point in the story.
Yep.
So they had random stuff happen. You can pull them out of the magic lake with your magic stick that you got.
Yeah, so in that scene, Mace touches some water and then teleports underneath the lake, and there's some magical barrier that does not let anything through, I guess.
Oh man, suspense.
Thankfully, the witch doctor gave them a magic staff, which allows them to pull him out of the magical lake.
The boy's item was a rock.
Yeah, the rock that actually was hollow and had something inside of it, but he never noticed.
Well, you had to shake it first.
I was thinking of Charlie Brown Halloween. You know, where they're trick-or-treating and he just gets...
Oh, yeah. It took me a while, but yeah, I remember that now.
I got a rock.
Oh yeah, no, it had that cool little magic arrowhead that points the direction they should go.
But it's blocked by a giant boulder, so what does he do? He uses his tiny little blaster, which can hardly do anything to a giant or a boar, but somehow just obliterates this rock, this massive 2-ton rock.
Did they ever use blasters for stuff like that in the movie? Like just to eat something or get items out of the way?
I don't know, they blast the control panels all the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I want to know is why their parents gave him a blaster.
They're on an unknown world.
Yeah, it's a tough world out there. Tough galaxy out there, man. That little girl seems to be very familiar with death. She talks about how her parents are dead. Some of her lines kind of scare me.
Her parents are dead?
She says, "It's been so long. They must be dead by now."
Oh.
When it's been like a day.
Yeah. No, it makes me curious just like where these people came from.
Oh, are they running from someplace?
Who are they? Yeah.
And like, why is Mace, the boy, why is he wearing a, Rebel Starfighter uniform?
Yeah, are they associated with the rebels somehow? How do they end up on this planet?
Why did they make him look like Luke Skywalker? Same haircut, same outfit.
Because he's a ripoff of Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, he is a knockoff Luke.
And he's left-handed.
Oh, cool.
Because I found it odd that he reached into the tree stump with his left hand. And so I started watching it, and he's like doing everything with his left hand. So,
Nice.
that would explain it.
That's interesting.
Something random that I noticed.
There, see? He's completely different from Luke.
Right, Luke's not left-handed.
Also, did he ever do anything to treat that wound? Like, the creature literally had half his hand down its mouth, and he was like completely fine.
The one in the tree.
Yeah, the high. What's that creature called?
The Tempter.
Of course.
Oh, that's a good point. Maybe he just took some of that Ewok medicine.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Yeah, is that stuff legal? That's what I don't know. That substance is banned on 12 different systems.
Yeah, I don't know why Mace feels so compelled to reach into this tree after this little creature. Like, he just goes after it.
He's got quite the determined expression. Like, it's like, I am gonna get this little thing.
Yeah, why? Was it making him, like, was it attracting him to it?
Yeah, maybe it tempts him, yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's like some sort of Darkseid thing.
Because he looked pretty determined to grab it.
After they get him out, the Ewok just, like, throws this stick on the ground. Like, he's, like, disgusted.
They do that when the kid later, he tells him he threw his magic rock away. The one Ewok just hits his forehead like, you idiot. But luckily Wicket picked up his magic rock and took it with.
Yep, Wicket saved the day. Wicket did quite a bit. Wicket was the one who ended up killing that boar wolf with his blowgun.
Nice.
Even though I was kind of trying to watch for the different Ewoks, I had a hard time telling them apart.
Yep.
I could usually tell when Wicket was doing something, but otherwise I'd stop trying to.
Yeah, same. I couldn't. They were all Ewoks, pretty much.
There's a lot that go with them. It kind of made me think of The Hobbit, how there's like too many characters and you get them all confused.
Well, okay, so there was Wicket and, like, who went with them on their ship?
Chuka Trox, a.k.a. Axe Boy.
The woodsman warrior.
See, it's exactly like The Hobbit.
I thought it was exactly like The Hobbit too, an unexpected journey.
Right.
And then there was a shot of them riding the horses across Mordor. I mean, whatever planet we're on.
Endor.
Endor, yeah.
There's a shot at the end too, and they're like hiding from the giant. It totally made me think of like Smaug.
Yeah. So who copied who?
Right. Was the Hobbit cartoon out by this point? It could have, visually, like, the book was out, but it doesn't follow the plot at all. It's more just, I don't know.
But the visuals of it is in the book. It's just up to your imagination.
Or was Lord of the Rings inspired by this film?
The Hobbit cartoon was 1977, so they could have taken some, inspiration from some of that.
This is what inspired J.R.R. Tolkien to write Lord of the Rings.
He watched it and was like, oh.
I wish I'd thought of this first.
That's a mouse, by the way.
What's the mouse?
Well, she's holding a mouse in her hand.
Right. It was a test by the I don't remember which one this is. The witch doctor? Not the witch doctor, it's the other wizard.
They called her like the priestess.
Priestess, yes.
Just to say, Tolkien was writing back in the 40s.
Whoa.
All right.
I didn't know you were going that far. I mean, I was joking about him being inspired by this. But
yeah.
I know you were.
I didn't know when he wrote it. I didn't know that they were that old.
Older than Star Wars? Oh my goodness.
Right, but yeah. So when they're recruiting the priestess to join them, she asked them to pass a test first, I guess, and gives them some magic stone thing that transforms into a lizard. But Mace foolishly drops it and storms off in anguish, which he does oftentimes throughout this film.
Which clearly means failing the test. He dropped that lizard.
Yes, because the test is all about holding lizards.
Sindel clearly passes the test by picking up the lizard, and it turns into a mouse.
That's her name?
Yes, Sindel.
Wow, that's great.
I'm just not sure what the nature of this test is.
Much anger I sense in that one.
He really does act like Luke.
He's Luke. Like he's really mimicking Luke.
Yeah.
In a horrible way, but
I think they just wanted to make him like relatable for people who are into the movie, for kids. It's like a kid version of Luke. Maybe this is Luke
as a child.
Yeah. Was he called Mace at one point?
Did he have a different family?
Maybe he means old Mace.
Maybe he lost his memory at some point
and was a secret assassin.
Was
Ooh, Mace Windu.
Right. Lost his memory by crashing on a planet, crashing on a forest moon.
The forest moon with desert and some monsters.
Oh yeah, were you gonna talk about the different monsters?
Sure.
We just gotta name them off.
Did you look them up? I don't know what they are.
Only notable ones were the Tempter, which was that little tree thing, the Boar Wolf, which is that cool animatronic one, and then at the end, they're just spiders.
What about the bad guy, though? The main bad guy?
Yeah, what's the giant?
Gorax, I think?
Gorax?
What's the species?
Is he a bat monkey? Because that's what he looks like.
Giant bat monkey.
It looks like he could be from a long-lost branch of Ewoks that slowly grew taller.
Taller and grotesque.
Is Gorax the species or the name of this thing?
I think it's the name.
Gorax, the Decimator.
The Burninator.
Well, this was the same year as the Terminator, so...
Obliterator.
Okay, I guess it's the species, never mind. Gorax were species of behemoths found on the forest moon of Endor. They frequently preyed on the Ewok.
Okay.
Disgusting.
Disgusting.
I guess that was all the creatures, wasn't it? The others were just animals they found.
Yeah. So then the animals that they used, they have goats and rabbits and chickens and llamas and ferrets.
Oh yeah,
and owls.
There was, for a second there, I was wondering if when they said the forest moon of Endor, if they meant planet Earth, but
A long time ago.
Right.
This is after Earth.
That's at the end they're gonna find the Statue of Liberty somewhere.
After. This happened a long time ago.
Oh, this is before Earth, sorry.
Well, I suppose we have no idea where in the timeline this takes place, except that based on his clothing, he kind of looks like a rebel pilot.
Maybe we're gonna find a ruined Ewok village.
That's right. Or dig up some Ewok skulls.
Ugh.
It'll be the missing link between us and Star Wars.
I liked seeing the planet Endor in the sky. That was cool.
Oh yeah, back on the creatures side of things. Those spiders that attacked them in the cave, those were pretty nasty.
Yeah.
Again, reminded me of The Hobbit.
Oh yeah.
But, I mean, it's not like they were copying it. There was just a bunch of things that I'm like, is this an unexpected journey?
They went on an unexpected.
They did.
I hadn't made those connections, but you guys are making me wonder about that now. They are kind of like little dwarfs.
Right.
Did anybody have any memorable lines or favorite scenes in the movie?
Star Cruiser crash.
Yeah.
That was a really bad Wicked impression.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad. I think my favorite line was when Mace is going across the spider rope bridge thing, and he says, "Come on, it's just like climbing a ladder sideways."
What?
I missed that one.
Oh yeah, and then they cut their only way out of there
Using magic.
Yeah. The only time that a priestess was useful was when she hypnotized the spider.
Yeah, but everybody had their moment.
Gandalf character takes down the Balrog.
Yeah, you shall not pass.
Oh yeah, this is exactly the Lord of the Rings. I'm watching a scene now of the what is she?
The priestess.
The priestess, and I'm hearing that dialogue now with her waving.
I gotta make a meme out of it.
You should. And nobody would get it because they haven't seen this. Just put the Lord of the Rings dialogue over this movie.
I would like to see that. That'd be good.
Here, this shot. This is great. This totally looks like The Hobbit.
We're looking at all of the Ewoks crouching behind a rock, peering out. What are they in the cave? Peering out at the monster.
Right.
At Gorax's little hideout.
Just how they're all bunched up like that.
Right. That's what they would do. They all peering over each other. And
There were some funny moments in this. I liked the one Ewok that was scurrying under that basket, hiding from the giant. Yeah. I was kind of thinking this is very much a kids movie, but if you're gonna do a kids movie, this is pretty good. It's good humor for kids. versus like just dumb humor for kids like Jar Jar. I never watched this when I was a kid.
No, I think I would have liked it.
Yeah, I remember seeing it at our video store.
And you guys never picked it up?
No, I don't know why we never did.
I feel like I would have been interested to see it.
I wanted to talk about their rescue here because.
Oh, do we want to put a spoiler warning for people who want to watch it?
No. If you're listening to this, you don't care about spoilers.
They rescue their parents. Hooray.
And then poor Chuka Trox dies.
Somebody died? Wow.
Very dramatically. He's got his... It's that whole scene, don't die. And he's got his hand reached out.
You're my friend.
He gives him his axe.
You were my brother, Anakin.
You are Chuka Trock now.
That was kind of a cheap death. Like, it felt like he didn't even accomplish anything. He literally just died for the sake of dying in the movie.
Yeah, he didn't take the giant down. He, was just hacking at his legs. And he dies.
How embarrassing.
The rocks just fall and squish him.
But I wanted to talk about... So they set up a seesaw type
that was cool.
lever device in order to fling Mace up to the basket that his parents are being kept in. And then he climbs into the basket with them and lowers down a rope that was already up there.
So really his parents just needed him to give them that idea.
And then he goes, how useless are you guys?
I didn't think of that.
I don't know.
Oh my god.
All the Ewoks climb up too.
Yeah.
I did not think of that. They are all just climbing themselves into...
It's just the classic, incompetent parents and the kids have to save the day. It's great.
That's how kids' movies work. That's a good point.
Yeah, it's a kind of rational thought that kids don't make.
Right, but they want to see themselves being the heroes.
Right, yeah, but it's you don't need to explain something like that in a movie made for kids. It's whatever.
No, I think it explained all it needed to.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun adventure.
And there was some, there was some good setup and payoff, with the different items that actually got used. I could see a kids movie having a scene like that and never seeing those items again. The kid's his axe throwing skills you saw earlier, he used that to take down the monster.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Apparently Mace is a championship axe thrower.
I mean, it's not great, but it's telling its story.
Where was that?
He was showing off for the warrior or something.
The woodsman who nearly kills them all by dropping a tree on them.
Ewoks kill people.
No, they would never.
Look, they were gonna eat this little girl. Look, they're taking it. No.
Yeah, I was a little worried. I'm like, too good care of you. Fatten her up.
That's one thing from Return of the Jedi that I don't think that was carried over.
They capture him and they put him on a pole like they did with in Return of the Jedi,
insinuating that they might cook you. Then they see a llama and they're like, oh, we could eat him instead.
These Ewoks are living on the ground. They're not in their forest city, their tree house.
Yeah, so they did show the tree. Their tree city is their main city, and I guess this is just some family that's farmers or something out.
But you do see the tree houses at the beginning, right? They're all lowering down ropes and baskets and stuff. That was fun.
And they go over there to find out where to go.
The chieftain, and he spins the top thing, and it apparently somehow activates the electronic wristband.
Well, then they all trip out and...
Oh, is that what is that?
I don't know. They're just watching this thing spin around, all of a sudden, whoa.
Cool.
It's magic,
right?
Again.
Yeah.
He even has an owl. That means that's a real magic place if you've got an owl.
Look at her. Look at her face. Did you see her face? Just mesmerized.
Luke over here.
Where is this?
Where's that? Where's that? He said it 3 times. Where is that?
That girl is just too young to be in this movie, I think, is part of the problem.
No, yeah, the little girl, she has lines, but she seems way too young to be saying these things.
They want a little kid, but she's 5.
I guess it's hard to tell age, but I feel like there's some pretty young kids in movies that do a pretty good job.
Yeah.
She's not acting like a little kid, though. I don't know. It's just like over dramatic and stuff. They're just not good actors, right?
It's like probably partly that, and you could put it on the people producing it too.
As far as directing children, yeah, that's hard to do.
Maybe Star Wars in general just doesn't know how to cast children.
Wait, what? Are you talking about Anakin?
Yeah.
What?
I'm watching Stranger Things.
Oh yeah.
Those kids are great actors.
Sometimes it's a little awkward, but it kind of feels like it should be, and so it works.
That show is bringing back my 80s nostalgia. That's kind of why I was looking up a list of movies.
Any last words?
You could take any Star Wars planet and make a spin-off about it.
You could.
But should you?
I think you could make them very cool and interesting. This is obviously older too.
Well, that's what I mean. I think in the movies they do such a good job of setting up these planets. You don't have to see everything, but it feels like you could explore any of them and see more of what's out there. So that's what they did here. And this is probably the deepest dive you get into a specific Star Wars planet.
It feels pretty legit. Like I was saying how it strays from the lore, but like really mostly in just like the magic elements. I don't know where that's coming from, but I could see this as being day-to-day Endor, it's not the most interesting thing to watch for an hour, but there it is.
Yeah.
But it's out there if you want it.
Yeah, it's out there if you want to see it. This one's available on video, DVD, unlike the holiday one.
You can pay for this?
Yeah, you can rent it on Amazon Prime for like $3 or something.
So there you go. I think people don't care about it because it's not good enough to be the classic like the other movies, but it's not bad enough to be sought out like people look for the holiday special. It's just kind of like this thing that was made and it was fine and people just kind of forgot about it.
I mean, you got a little kid that really likes Star Wars. Heck, you could rent this movie and it'd be fine.
See what they think and leave your comments about what they thought below.
Do you guys like, I don't know, this, I guess to you guys and to our listeners at home, I hope that you like Ewoks because everything between this and the prequels is about 90% Ewok.
Oh no.
I'll be honest with you, I like them a little less now.
And there's a whole lot more.
The next one is another ABC movie.
Ewoks: The Battle for Endor. Yeah, so we'll see how this one ends up. I don't know anything about it, if it's got the same... I think it does. Actually, it focuses on Sindel.
I don't know if this is a spoiler, but it's got a sad opening.
Oh boy, so maybe don't show your kids that one. But hey, we'll tell you about it and whether or not it's worth your time or your kids' time.
Yeah, so they don't leave the planet at the end of this.
They have another party with the Ewoks.
There's those like fairy things.
Oh, yeah, we forgot to talk about this.
Like what? This is totally just Tinkerbell.
Yeah, but
just like Peter Pan.
Mace is a little too obsessed with this thing.
You don't get older on Endor.
He is Peter Pan, I know.
He's Peter Pan.
He actually might be, because a long time ago, and he just lived until present day, and then came to England.
Maybe this is Neverland.
Now it's getting silly. This wasn't silly until right this minute.
Right.
Ageless.
All right. Yub nub, everybody. We'll see you.
Yep, no.